had heard and seen, which were just as they had been told.
Where can we find the newborn King of the Jews? We saw his star in the east and have come to worship him.
They went into the house and saw the child in the arms of Mary, his mother. They kneeled down and worshipped him. Then they opened their treasures and presented him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
Entered our world. our policy, really, with children here. First of all, that story, of course, if it was happening now, we would probably tell it in a very different way. We would probably also be inclined to interpret it and take the story as indeed that story is. But it doesn't detract from the fact that deep down we are celebrating the birth of a child that was unique, a child that was very special indeed in relation to God and in relation to the whole creation. But as far as possible, we encourage children here, and for that matter, of all ages, to be honest about our doubts as well as our certainties. And there are bits of that story which I struggle with. I struggle to find my way to a specific house without GPS or something like that. How you go on following a star and ranking it for exactly the right house is one of those things where we've just got to be open-minded and say, okay, this is allegorical, it's powerful, it's true, but whether you can actually do it the way it's recorded doesn't really matter. So to celebrate our faith is also to acknowledge our open doubts. But the overriding thing I believe about working with children, and for that matter with each other, is that we are, if you like, celebrating that we are not trying to teach each other. Christianity is not taught, it's called. And more than anything else, we may learn the theory from books, we may learn the theory from teachers, but at the end of the day, it's a community like this, and the way it lives out what it believes, which is what children catch. I remember vividly in Liverpool in the 60s, which was a tough time to be a teacher, and one particularly difficult girl was sent by this teacher to the headmistress. And she said to the girl, "What on earth are you doing? Isn't it clear what Miss So-and-so told you?" She said, "Yes, I heard what Miss So-and-so told me, but what she is screams at me." And in many ways we can be full of all the talk in the world. If we don't walk that way, then the children won't catch a thing. So I want us this morning to celebrate this community, which is all ages, it's all sorts of people from different backgrounds, it's even got a small ethnic mix, but nonetheless, what we're about is catching from each other the spiritual truth of how to live with the gift of forgiveness, with the gift of grace, with the gift of each other. If we do that, we won't go far.